Let's talk about Teams. So in this session, we're going to talk a bit about new features. Actually, not that new, but we have added some new features to it. So things around the meeting room, where we'll start to get recognized with voice, video. So
intelligent speak.
Yes.
It's not, as you're saying, it's not something new, but it's something that's way more in focus now. Due to that, we have the Teams Premium license where we are transcripting, and the Copilot that use the transcripting to do all its amazing search. So what it pretty much is that if you're sitting 5 people in a meeting and you're sitting behind your desktop, it's not a problem because we know that you are behind your desktop, Michael behind his, and so on. But if we take the same people and put them into a meeting room, it will be transcribed saying, hey, meeting room 1, and then will just be one mess up with whatever we are saying. And for Copilot, it will actually be a problem because if I'm saying, hey, so you will do that, or give you a task or something like that, the transcript can't analyze what's been said because we don't know who's saying it.
That would be perfect for me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always the meeting room that needs to take care of the stuff. So basically it will help Copilot, making sure that it will actually do the transcription.
Yes, I will know what's done in the transcription. So pretty much the steps that we are doing is that right now, as for now, we need to have some certified hardware. And right now, it's some of the metal speakers that we have, we put on the table. There is one bar out.
I see that there's a problem about the things on the table because we're in the Nordics. We don't like stuff on the table. And the microphone pickup range is poor, if you ask me.
And spot on, and this is not a manufacturer commercial, but Jabra is actually coming out with their USB device that are supporting intelligent speak. So that's a video wall where you can get picked up the voice from. So we don't need to have that one again. Scandinavian company. So you need some certified hardware on it, and you also need to recognize your voice. And the way you do that is that you go into your Teams client, and under settings there are some recognition. And right now, all depending on what's enabled and so on, you have voice recognition and face recognition. And let's focus on the voice recognition for now. And what it does is that you start a recording and it comes up with a little text, and you begin saying whatever the text is saying that you should say. So you're saying it loud. And to be honest, my office is kind of okay built, soundproof and so on. And I was sitting with one of the brand new headsets and so on, and come up and say to me, sorry, but we really don't recognize you. I try to be in a better room or better sound equipment. I was kind of, okay, I don't believe that. So I did a couple of times. And then one very important thing when you do this, if you have some of the fancy headset with voice cancellation and all that stuff, it actually manipulates with the voice, so it's harder for Microsoft to get your profile.
The real voice.
Exactly, because it's the real voice.
You have to turn everything off when you record it into the Teams.
Yeah, so when you're doing that, because it's trying to get your voice. And again, that's the same when you're in the meeting room, it is voice. It's not a modified from a headset.
Nope.
So again, actually you can also just take your laptop and open up, and you have just a decent microphone in it. It can actually recognize.
But is it some lines you have to say?
There's a little story that you have to say.
Okay, so it's like a 1 minute sentence?
Not even 30 seconds, something like that. I think it's 10, 15 sentences where you're saying, hey, Teams, recognize my voice, and there's a lot of different announcements. So so that it will learn your voice. And then we'll approve it, and hopefully that's it. Then when you are in the rooms, it knows your voice profile. And some very important things, you can always delete your voice profile. So if you say, my company shouldn't have it, I can go in again, same place. I can either do a recording of it, or I can delete it.
Oh yeah, okay. So you're doing that as a user yourself.
Yeah, so you can remove your footprint, so it wouldn't recognize you with that anymore. And then the meetings. There are some limitation. I think at the moment it's maximum 10 people in a room, and it's internal meetings. And for now, to being recognized, you should be in that meeting. So when you schedule a meeting, you should be part of that meeting, so you know that right now Carsten is in the meeting.
So you need to be a part of the meeting invite.
Exactly, so it knows that.
Okay, so it can collect your voice from the crowd.
So it knows that, okay. And one could imagine that will be changed later, but for now it is, so you need to be.
I actually think it will be a tough one for them to be able to do the other thing, because what
there's
if there's another person sounds nearly the same, then you just have a different...
We are that different device. It's not like that. I think where the big problem is that, like, if you are 200,000 people inside your tenant, all of them a voice profile, you're walking in, let's say which one of the voice profile is, but again, it's just a matter of CPU power, so Microsoft fix it. Yeah. And it brings some of the other scenarios that comes up and say, hey, I have a meeting with Lars and I, for example, and you're joining in the meeting, so you're not, what will actually happen? Well, right now, it will just display you as person 1 or person 2, depending on how many are coming. So it recognizes there are an unknown person in it. And you will speed from that. You cannot bind that person at the moment into to the transcription, but it will just be person 1. Okay. One could imagine later on that you can search in it, so it will find person 1, and you can say that's Michael.
Okay, but so you're still okay.
So you're not able to actually say, okay, I know I wasn't invited, but now I'm here.
Yeah, and then right-click and say
person 1. Can you actually then add my name for person 1 instead?
As it is, you cannot do that now.
Okay,
but I could imagine that's one of the things that will come because
that would make sense. I mean.
Yeah. It will also be fantastic when we move later on that you're able to search the metadata, all the things that Carsten has been talking
That's exactly
about.
what Copilot doing.
Exactly.
Give me
a prompt about it, and you know that as well when you have material of a movie of things like that, you can search the right spot. And when we bring in the face recognition as well, then it will definitely be even better, right? So and then we actually, I think some of the new cameras coming out is actually capable of helping Microsoft succeed with this because you need to have different angles, etc.
And that's actually like when you're doing your voice profile, you're also doing your face profile. And the process of that is that you look into the camera and you move your face to one and another. So it will recognize, and when we support multiple cameras, we can easily follow and find the best direction.
That's cool.
And one footnote about when you're saying with this was Copilot, because I mean here in Scandinavia we don't have supported language at the moment, but just remember that a English-speaking Copilot can actually search into Danish or Swedish or Norwegian transcripts that are done because the language model can translate, so it will know what's going on. The reply will of course still be in English, but we can look into our native languages transcription as well. So
so you'll just need to do the prompting in English, even though it's
prompting and the reply will also be in English.
I think one of the things that you mentioned was like intelligent speakers. It was certified devices in smaller rooms because it basically was a speakerphone. Jabra announced they will be the certified intelligent speaker as well. So I mean, there are still some limitations as of today.
To be honest, these intelligent speakers has not been used that much out with customers because people have not seen the benefit of putting the microphone on the table because we always have somebody talk about aesthetic things in the room, etc. And the microphones more or less look like an ashtray.
And another thing, it has been supported in our part of the world. I mean, it's kind of not new, but it's newer that one thing is came out with the Americas, and that's fine, and so on with the major languages. But up here, we have had some limitation. And the outcome of it has been, okay, we got a transcription, but now with the Teams Premium license, it makes perfect sense.
One of the things was, I remember when it came out, is it 1.5 years ago?
I think so. At least,
Cortana was also part of it, and now Cortana is going to end on the Teams Room, right? Yeah. So it's, I think it's a good thing they're going to enable it on different other hardwares as well.
Because what's going on with that?
So that was one of the interesting part at Ignite. That was actually like saying, we know we had the intelligent speakers. They have some limitations. Now we're going to move it to each and every device. And then it will be Microsoft doing it in the cloud. So that's kind of an interesting thing because then you could actually have speaker recognition in larger meeting rooms with higher quality mic, like ceiling mics, maybe even video bars in another brand.
Is there any difference between Windows and Android here? Or is it just...
Right now, it's only supported on the Windows solutions. So,
that's true. But I mean, no matter if we need it or not, I would say there will probably be a lot of discussions about should we actually enable it. I mean, and I cannot just go as a person, go in and do my voice profile because I need an IT admin to actually enable it. And so that's one of the things.
There are some things that you need, and right now it's not even the GUI based, it's a PowerShell command that you need to do behind the scene on your tenant for enable it.
But it just makes sense when you do the meeting recap with the premium license because you get much more out of it because you can see who is in charge of the task and etc. And what's
it helps Copilot to define task afterwards, for example.
Exactly. Yeah.
But and again, now we were mentioning PowerShell, and it shouldn't we go too technical. But when we are sending the PowerShell away, we can configure it in different ways. We can say that we want to display the persons. That's what I do. That's what I prefer. But we can also go and say that we kind of anonymizing those persons. And of course, that will limit something with Copilot. We'll say speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, and then we'll refer to it. So yeah, you have the options to manipulate a little with the configuration. But again, with Copilot in mind, a recap in mind, then let's definitely have the persons that are speaking being displayed so we can work with it.
Yeah, I would say that. Why would you anonymize it
if you only have anonymous speaker 1 and anonymous speaker 2? But
in one organization, I think it will be able to help them because when you have the recap, you have everything that's been said in the meeting, and it's just easier to have a great outcome from the meetings. It helps. Because we always struggle when we have the pre-meeting and in the meeting and the after meetings. Sometimes we forget the pre-meeting and the after meeting. We have to do something about task before and task after. And if you have everything transcripted, you'll be able to do something.
You'll get it. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say quite interesting. Yeah. First, it starts to make so much more sense
now it
with
makes sense,
intelligent speakers because previously, what was my outcome of it?
And to be honest, the engine is getting better and better. In the beginning, it was kind of shady, and we all know some of the funny transcriptions we are seeing, and there are still some of them. I mean, let's be honest, it's not 100%, it's not flawless, but it's much better now than it was a year ago.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if I was taking note from a meeting, I would probably also make mistakes.
Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't probably be able to catch everything. So I would say it's a great help. Of course, you still need to look at the outcome, making sure this is what you actually should do, and the task, of course.
Yeah.
Anything else before we end this? We could talk about this for hours, but we promised each other we need to do them short. And today we actually got a clock just in front of us, so we can kind of look at the time as well. So
the famous 15 minutes. Yeah, that's a good limit.
That's the limit, yeah.
So let's end it here. Good stuff from Intelligent Speakers, making it so much easier for Copilot, the recap and stuff like that. Yeah. So really interesting. So thank you so much for watching.